Hi everyone, good day and welcome to our channel. Today we're going to be entering into the exciting world of Web3 and we're going to talk about the opportunities in Web3. Today we have Mrs. Victoria Okoroji. I hope I pronounced that well. So she's going to take us through the world of Web3 and what she's doing with her organization VALUCOP. Okay, welcome to our channel, Mrs. Victoria.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richard, right? Just like you said, my name is Victoria Okoroji, and okay, let me just start from the beginning of how I got into the Web3 space. Back in 2018, in fact, back in 2016, that was the first time I heard about anything Bitcoin, anything crypto. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, that was the first time I heard about anything Bitcoin and crypto, and that was in the heat of the MMM period. But I had this distrust for crypto because I felt like it had to do with Ponzi schemes, so I didn't really pay attention. And but then 2018, there was this schoolmate of mine, and I saw on Facebook, and it was like, "Hi Vicky, why are you not in? Are you in crypto? Are you doing crypto?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm not doing crypto." And it was like, "Why? This is like the game changer for for earning, for money. Money has really evolved." And I'm like, "Okay, this is getting serious, right?" So it was like, "Okay, come, let's talk on WhatsApp." So that was how we exchanged content and started talking on WhatsApp. And he gave me like lots of videos and lots of books, and I started reading because I don't like things that I don't have information on. Which is, I think, another place that I've seen many young people or many Africans like derail from. Usually someone comes with a hype about something and they jump on it without really trying to like understand the basics or the fundamentals. So I read about it. The more I read about it, the more I found out that, wait, this is going to be a game changer. Like, money has evolved, literally. Like, money evolved from, in fact, that was when I had to like read the history of money for the first time. Before, I was just used to the different currencies across the world, naira, dollar, and all of those things. But I had to now read the history of money. So even if we didn't have the financial crisis that happened in the global financial crisis in 2008, which was recorded as like the worst crisis after 1930, when there was the Great Depression. So even if we didn't have, sorry.
I said the Great Depression of the 21st century. It was
exactly that was like the Great Depression. Yes, exactly. So, and that was what brought in the Bitcoin narrative. Satoshi Nakamoto. If you read the Bitcoin white paper, the whole idea behind Bitcoin, to remove money from centralized control and to give it back to the people. So that was actually where my whole like crypto journey started from. And after 2019, before 2019, I already had some skill sets because I'm someone that like hunting for knowledge, and I'm very digital to like learn stuff and adopt new knowledge and apply them. So during this year and all of that, after post-service year, I was already writing. I was already a writer, normal, just ghostwriting, audio transcription, social media management. I was already doing those things on the side. But of course, nothing ever compares to crypto money, right? Especially if you're going from Web2 and you've tasted Web3 money. You know that there's a difference. There's money and there's money. So he told me, he introduced me to a friend of his school was looking for a social media manager for me to manage her social media account. And then she was trying to onboard females into Web3 space. It wasn't really a popular thing. In fact, females were not really very popular then in the Web3 space. It was mostly like as if it was a men thing, it was a guy thing back then. So, but today we're having much more women, become more involved. And stop seeing tech like it's something meant for the guys. So, when he introduced us, I started managing a social media account, and that was my first Web3 job. That was my first Web3 job, and from there it just took off, right? I became more. It dawned on me that building a career in this Web3 space, like it's much more. It's much more mentally relaxing, because when I was reading all those history stuff, learning about how to trade, buy and sell, trust me, the first few days in buying and selling cryptocurrency was not fun. It was not funny at all, because there was this anxiety when the money goes up, when the money comes down. There was this eternal anxiety that I couldn't just break away from. And then eventually I learned how to use some risk management features of trading platforms like Binance. And then I was able to use things like stop loss and take profits, and I stopped living in eternal anxiety every time I trade. But then I found out that this project, every single day, there was like one new project coming out in the Web3 space. And these projects need a particular skill set to take off and to succeed in the space, in the Web3 space. And this whole narrative, just like we had Web 1 and Web 2. Web 1, I remember back then when I was like way younger, and we had only landline, and then before the inception of like SIM cards and phones and into Nigeria. And then I remember how expensive SIM cards were back then. And then I also remember the that free time phones, the phones of back then, and how those phones evolved over time. So now we have people that if you don't have a smartphone, it's like you are backwards. And then we transitioned from that Web 1 to Web 2, where we then started having that was post that financial crisis. Social media took a boom. It really took a boom, and then so many people became involved with Instagram, Facebook, and all of those. They now have this Web3 now, and this Web3 is promising to take power away from the big giants monopolizing things, and give it back to the average daily user. So that was what bettered. Okay, before the whole so I was already teaching people how to monetize their skills. Because it was something that really worked for me. After I left school, I didn't really envision myself as someone who was going to start hunting for jobs, like regular applying for jobs up and down. I just didn't really see myself doing that. And then my brother was like, you're right. So why don't you start from there? So I started applying everything that I learned during my service year, because I know many people don't like the service year, but service year sort of exposed me to, learn a lot. I learned a lot during those side programs during camp. Maybe that might make me too much of a bookworm, but side during NYSC camp was interesting, right? It was interesting, and I was able to participate in some digital marketing classes, and even help some persons even get involved in it. So by the time I left NYSC, I was already considering how do I show people that the first place to start your monetization journey is with your knowledge, with your skill. What can you solve? What problem can you solve for someone with your skill? So it's not, because usually when someone comes to me and they say, I need money, it puts me off, right? It puts me, I'm not saying that their need for money is not legit. And if the person is a young person, and the next question I'm going to ask you is, what can you do? And the person tells me, like the last person, just 2 days ago, somebody asked me same question that the person wants a job. And I was like, okay, what are your skills? Yeah, what can you do? What are your skills? Can you send me your resume? This young person, this person is an undergraduate in school, doesn't even know what it means to actually have a resume. Doesn't even mean what do I mean by skills. So, and this is the state of so many people, so many persons in Africa, so many young people in Africa. We want money, right? We want to make money. But then when it comes down to what you can offer, and then so many people will say that, oh, you've not given us an opportunity to get experience. But I'm like, that's not true. I didn't have to actually work in a company per se to actually get the experience that I acquired down the line. I didn't have to. So this was the reason why VALUCOP started, to show people how to make money with what you know. In fact, I even have a hard copy book. I wrote a book a couple of years ago on it, like how to make money with what you know. Different ways you can package what you know and earn from it. And so that was how VALUCOP started, and the whole Web3 came into the picture, and we evolved into showing people that don't pursue the green and red candles, because most times some people get burnt, trying to, invest their last savings, hoping that they will cash out the next 10x. I'm not saying 10x doesn't happen, right? But what do you even know about getting 10x? Like, you want to go and get 10x? So with that whole Ponzi scheme mindset, they get in there and they get burnt. So VALUCOP is now changing that narrative. So we started doing that in 2020 during the lockdown, when everybody were at home. People were at home, so either they were jobless, trending on TikTok. So we're like, okay, show these people that crypto is not what they think. Crypto is not the Ponzi scheme they think. Actually, there's a talent side of it. There's a talent side of the whole Web3 thing, of the whole crypto thing. So if you can write, if you can design, if you can code and everything, come and learn how you can actually get started in the space. And I can happily say we have testimonials to prove it, that it has transformed a lot of lives, like up until today. So I don't know, I've taken a lot of time to share my story and journey, but that's how I got here, I'm a non-tech founder, right? Today I was just wishing this week that I had gone ahead with my coding classes. After I left school, I had interest in starting like HTML training then, but I simply decided to stay with writing. And then now I was wishing being a non-tech founder, right? I'm more, I moved towards just the non-tech people, the non-tech skills. So basically, we were trying to like onboard people into careers in Web3, where there's this tendency to always focus on the branding skills, marketing skills, communication skills, writing, design, and all of those stuff, products. So, but we've never really focused on the non-tech, the coding side. We've never really focused there, because personally I don't have any background in it. So how do I even start like talking about something I don't even do? But then over time I've watched people, non-tech founders, actually start up communities, tech communities, and blossom. In fact, one of the examples is my brother, right? My brother, he manages a community of tech people, and himself he's a no-code person. He doesn't code, he's a tech person per se, but of course he's learning. Now that he's there and he has all these developers around him, he's catching a thing or two. But he wasn't originally a tech person. He has always been like a marketing person like myself. So when I saw people like him, people like Web3 Bridge, people like Aya, these are people who are non-tech founders, but they have the community of tech people. And looking at it, I attended some events. So I attended like Web3 Bridge event last year, this year, and quite a number of other events. And I'm seeing that if we're going to put Africa on the map, of course, we are already doing that. I'm even happy that even the Nigerian government, the NITDA, is also like already doing stuff like this, running tech programs, trying to equip young people, Nigerians, with these skills. Because we won't be won't build Africa by doing comedy skits, right? I'm not saying comedy skits is bad. We won't build Africa by doing TikTok videos.
Okay.
That's fine. It's a kind of marketing. But we need people who would actually build this stuff. We need to expose people to this technology. So, and we already have one or two communities doing that already, and so many more are coming out. So we decided to expand that side of VALUCOP. So we're not just non-tech, we are also tech. So, and then learning from those people, my brother and other persons who have actually done these things and succeeded in it. I'm shadowing them. So in order to expand the reach. So the idea is that if you want to code, if you want to get into web development, Web3 is the place, right? So if you're already in Web2 development and you want to transition, in fact, I encourage you to transition into Web3 development, that's blockchain development. That this program, VALUCOP Dev Africa, is for this kind of people. And we're not just doing Africa-based, Nigeria-based. We are, expanding to other parts of Africa, because I noticed that Nigeria is ahead of several African countries, but other African countries are also catching up too. So VALUCOP Dev Africa is for aspiring developers who want to transition into Web3 development. Okay. So that's yeah.
You started that a couple of this month, right? October of 2023.
Yes. We just started, and we've had just one live session. We'll be having boot camps. The plan is to host boot camps where they get to learn and they get to build out stuff, do practicals. Also, be able to participate in hackathons where these competitions where they can actually build stuff and earn money and win money for it. Just simply expose them to resources that they would need to actually transition and start building solutions for Web3. The difference, this is one question that we use a lot of jargon in this space, a lot of jargon in this space. So I was even telling my husband recently that we're going to get to a point whereby the layman will be able to use Web3 without actually having to know definition of those words. It's just like you use your bank applications and you don't really bother about the tech behind the bank apps. All you know is you're just withdrawing money, depositing money and stuff. So Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. What's Web 1? Now, a typical example of Web 1 is I'm going to use two different scenarios to explain each of them. One is, when you want to log in to a platform, and you have to put in your email address and password.
Yes.
Plus email and that. That's Web 1. Web 2 is when you have to use social logins to log in. When you use your Facebook, your Google Mail, you just have to simply click a button and it just logs you in. You don't have to type in a password. That's Web 2. And then Web 3 now is Wallet Connect. Simply have to use your wallet to connect, so it gives you access. So Web 1, to gain access, you type in your email address and password. Web 2, to gain access, use your social logins. And Web 3, you use your wallet login. So now that's one difference. The other difference is the text. In Web 1, if we do a little bit of go back a little bit, you will see that Web 1, they had a lot to do with what they call text only. If you remember the website of those days, it was just plain HTML text. You just simply read, you're reading a dictionary. Yes, so just simply read. There was no buttons to interact, to comment, or whatever. It's just basically you're reading a dictionary. Yes. And then for Web 2, that had to transition into Web 2, which is now where social media came in. We now started having interaction. You can send, some people post something on Facebook, you comment and all of those things. So social media was a major part a major part of Web2. That social interaction, that interactive pages. But now we have Web3, whereby there's now much more. The point is to remove the centralization, because Web2 is very centralized. For example, the likes of social media, like our social media platforms, where what everybody knows is they're just commenting, making posts, making content on social media, and people like have to like engage and stuff. But they don't see what's happening behind, like how the algorithm controls so many things, right?
Okay.
The algorithm controls so many things, and their data is actually what informs this algorithm, and this algorithm is actually what empowers. So they spend a lot of time. They spend a lot of time on social media and never get paid for it. So we have content creators, people that have spend time building their reputation online, but they don't earn directly from those interactions. Do you get?
Yes.
Unless they get to a point where they start selling a product to their audience or to their fans, that's the only way they can monetize what they have. But in Web3 now, we're having the likes of SocialFi, finance, decentralized social media is giving, like, this is even distributed. Maybe YouTube, and you've earned your first income or revenue from YouTube. Sincerely, if you check what you'll have, like the amount of views it will cost, it will take you to actually earn $100 from that. Web3 will give you even much more than that, right?
Okay.
So the idea behind it, I think this is like a difference between these three, but they're one evolved into the next, and the other one is evolved into the other one. So we are transitioning into Web3. We're not completely there yet, but we're getting there. I don't know if that's explanation enough.
That, of course it does. So this is one of the questions I get, like when people want to get into the space, and like, so what kind of job can I get? What kind of career can I build and stuff? So one of the first thing I tell them is, before I start giving you a bunch of lists, look at yourself. What are your capacities now? I like to start from people's strengths, like what your strength is, because some skills are actually very transferable into the Web3 space. So let us see, do you have any skill sets that you can transfer into the Web3 space? If you don't, what can you learn based on your capacity, like your learning capacity at the time? So the first thing is to look at what you can do. What are those things you're very good at? Are you someone that is very let's say very jovial? You can talk in public, right? You can talk in public. Are you someone that enjoys writing? Are you someone that is very fascinated about tech? Are you someone that, so what are those things that come to you like naturally? Like what are those things that you normally do? Or if you already have some skills in Web2, like things you've been doing, but it's been paying you maybe one or two, what are those things? So when you find out all those things, you list them out, and then you go to Google, or you go to ChatGPT. We have ChatGPT these days, or you go to Google Bard, and then you ask what are the roles and job description of this. You type it out, that thing that you can do, that capacity in Web3 is going to give you a bunch of stuff. So this is one of the first ways to see, this is what I can do in Web3, and this is what I can't do in Web3. So that's the very first step. So that is for yourself now. What are the different job opportunities? So we have the tech and non-tech, just like you mentioned. In the non-tech, we have design. Now, when we mention Web3, it sounds like something that's too far-fetched. But the truth is, most of the skills that we already use in Web2 are very transferable to Web3. For example, when somebody creates a product, maybe let's say the person created a Facebook lookalike for Web3. Now that product, in fact, creation of that product needed some skill sets. For example,
the smart contract development, blockchain development, Web3 development. So that means this is like tech person. When that product is launched, it's going to need somebody who is very good at go-to-market strategies. How does that product move from now that it's after production, post-production, to the market? So it's going to need growth marketers. It's also going to need business developers. It's going to need business developers. It's going to need content writers, content marketers, who's going to like talk to people about this product in words that they can understand enough to even use this product. So it's going to need social media. Someone is going to have to manage this social media account, so that when people start making inquiries, when people Google about it, when people search about it, they'll be able to see a social media handle. So I've pointed out different skills now, using that. So when a product is at the idea stage, a team is formed, and it's going to require different skill sets to move you from production to the market and to usage by the audience. So that means we need regular skills like content writing, business development, collab management, project management, product management, product marketing. Sometimes some of these skills are actually intertwined. So one person might end up like doing like two of those skills. For example, now a business developer can also be a collab manager. But in some places, a collab manager can be different and a business developer different. And then in some other cases, we're going to have like a project manager, or even a product manager. They have their differences, but each product know what they need. So an easy place to see what are the available jobs available, just go to Web3.career. Web3.career is a website where jobs are listed. It's one of the popular websites for job listing. You can see what jobs are there, and then you can look at their roles and responsibilities to see where you find yourself, or your learning part, in your capacity, or even what you want to even go ahead to, equip yourself with. The first thing first, if you're transitioning into Web3 as a writer, you would need to know the fundamentals of Web3. Now, this was one of the things that helped me, because before I transitioned into Web3, I was writing for the gaming space, the regular traditional gaming space. I was writing about casino games and all of those things. I also wrote for real estate company, before I transitioned. So now, and for each of this time, like when I started doing the gaming part, I had to like read a lot about the gaming, so that I would be in sync with what works in the gaming world. Same for real estate. I had to like read a lot about real estate. So the first thing is to equip yourself with knowledge about the Web3 space and the basics. What is Bitcoin? What is crypto? Why is crypto here? Where are we now in this space? What are the trending narratives? What are those narratives that are trending right now in the space? Because from when I came into the crypto space, so many narratives has gone through the space. Like right now, we have a very more prevalent narrative, like the social fi and the deso. Right now, before the markets went down, before the bear markets came in, we had the NFTs. It was trending. NFTs are still here, but there was a time it was like much more like trending, and then we had gamify and stuff. So you have to look at, when you've understood the fundamentals and the basics, so you now look at, okay, what are trending narratives now? You read it and you understand it. So the next thing is to create a couple of pieces about those topics. You already know how to write. You just need to produce a content that is Web3 related, in line with any of the narratives. And then, so when you do that, that's like forms a part of your portfolio, because resume is a thing. But sincerely, I've not really used my resume a lot of times to get opportunities, which is where your social media presence comes in. What are those days when you just fall into someone's DM and just say, give me a job. Like the person that came into my DM 2 days ago, right? You're going to, someone going to ask you, what can I say what you've done before? So you don't necessarily need to get a job to do something that shows what you can do. All you have to do is find a random project, write about it, publish it on your Medium, publish it on LinkedIn, LinkedIn article, publish it, just publish. There's several places to publish these days. Even Miro. If you use Miro, it's going to expose you to Web3, publish on a Web3 based platform. So when you're done publishing, you build your social media presence. At this point, you don't have a job yet. And these days, they look at people's, like, I've seen so many platforms that I had to sign up on, and they requested for my LinkedIn link and my Twitter link. So to tell you how important these things are. So the resume is good. It's good to like prepare your resume, but sometimes that resume might not even pass anybody's table. Just by looking at what you've done before, or just by looking at simply just typing your name on LinkedIn and seeing your LinkedIn profile, it's just enough. So when you've done that, just optimize your socials and start talking about these things. Building in public. It's not building in public. So you start doing that, because even a project would like to know that you joining their team is going to be like an extra platform, to create awareness for their project. So your portfolio is very important. You need your portfolio, a Web3 based portfolio. Just content talking about any topic. Just simply write 2-3 articles to showcase what you can do. And then you have to find out, what does success mean for your role in Web3?
Okay.
What do I mean? Now, we've gone beyond, with the whole AI thing coming in. The first question that came to my mind last year when ChatGPT came out was, now that ChatGPT can write content, it means that it's going to require an extra. As a content writer, there must be something extra you bring to the table beyond the ability to write. So what does success mean for your role in Web3? For example, a content writer now, beyond just writing, there is what we call, your content should be able to be readable, right? Readability, optimization, all those things. You don't just copy, just copy and paste something and just submit. There's what this thing we'll be talking about, content marketing. In fact, content writing and content marketing are two different things. In the sense that as a content writer, you can simply just write articles and just publish. But as a content marketer, now you're not looking at how your users, your potential audience engage with your content. How does it, show and don't just tell people about what you're talking about? How do you tell story to engaging stories? How do you weave people in to come and read what you're writing? So for different job roles in the space, there's success means different things for all of them in the Web3 space. Do you get? And it might be slightly different from what it means in Web2. So you have to find out, what will I do what will it really mean? Like for me to say I've done my work well as a content writer. So when you find out what that thing is, that should be where you now start showcasing. Especially if you've not gotten a job yet, that's what you start showcasing. That's what people start talking about. I see some people talking about discussing the project they've handled before in the past, discussing challenges they've encountered, discussing how they've solved the problem, things like that. They are building in public. So this is the next thing the person should do, and then take it one step after the other, and also learn to shadow people that have actually reached that particular position they are going in for. But then there's a bad side of shadowing people, actually. What do they call that thing? Imposter syndrome can set in, whereby you begin to feel like you're not making a lot of progress, because every day you wake up in the morning and you go online and you see that the person you are shadowing has made several steps forward, a lot of progress, and you feel like, oh my God, when will I reach this place? And you start doubting your own little progress. So that's another thing to be very mindful of, to celebrate your little progress more than you are trying to model the people that are already where you want to reach. Challenges for people who are trying to build a career in Web3 space, it can differ from person to person. And you can also make it easier for yourself, actually. There's this mindset that we need to remove from ourselves. Like, that is, we already have this stereotyped expectation about, okay, just like someone who just left, the person just left school and the person came to me like, Victoria, I need a job. I'm like, okay, you need a job. Now this is a different person now. Like, she's done with her master's and just came and like, she needs a job. I said, okay, what did you study? Computer, I think it was computer engineering. I'm like, oh wow, that's a very, very good skill. That's a very good skill. So do you know, can you do this? Can you do that? Zilch, nada. Now, it's very, first of all, what we went through in the uni and the real life reality is not the same thing. That's the way we need to start. Sincerely, because it already created that whole, I've gone through a lot in the uni and now I'm in the real world now. So opportunities come and slap me left, front and center. It's not true. Because that's already due for a lot of disappointments. We're not prepared. We're not prepared for the work. We don't have what we call job readiness, career readiness from the uni. That's another thing that we try to inculcate into people in our community. That job readiness mindset. What are those things I should prepare myself with as I'm getting? What is actually the thing that I needed right now? Most of the time, we don't even have what is relevant. Anyway, let me not even debate too much. So that's one of the challenges, the lack of job readiness. You have a skill, but there's also a part of job readiness that people miss out. There's also a part of job readiness that people miss out a lot. Like, for example, you have a skill now, but how do you package it to actually answer the potential questions that your skill is supposed to answer? That's one of them. And that can be a potential delay in your path. Now, many people, we don't like failing. We don't like failing. We don't like failing.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody likes failing, but failing is part of life. You're going to fail plenty times, and then and in those failing, you're going to learn. You're going to attempt several times, and then you're going to learn. But we just want it, like, this is something I see every day. I'm taking from my personal experience, right? I have a community of young people. So whenever it looks like as if we are feeding people a lot of this mindset of 5 easy way to, 7 easy way to, 10 easy way to. So instead of, so it make people think that the hard work has been removed, but that is not true. That's not true. So you have to be ready that you just left school. They told you these are the things that you need to do. You already start applying them. Most likely, you're going to get your first no the first time you try. So what are you supposed to do then? What you're supposed to do then now is you're supposed to ask yourself, why was I rejected? What can I do better? But we miss this part. Immediately we write things off and say, we're not doing it again. This is not working. And all of those things. So the first challenge you're going to encounter is that you might encounter some no's and some rejections, right? We're not saying, I still prefer Web3 space to Web2 any day, anytime. But even myself, I've had my own couple of rejections. And I have to tell myself that, okay, sometimes it was my fault. Sometimes it wasn't my fault. They just simply didn't want me, right? And then there are things that we like comfort zones a lot. These Gen Z children, God. They like comfort zone a lot. But there are things that you need to remove from your comfort zone. Like sometimes you have to leave your house and go for an event. When you get to that event, you connect with people. There are some extra miles you need to go. There is no comfort. That's another challenge that people need to deal with. There's no comfort zone in the road to success. That's what you want to do. So there's no comfort zone there. And And actually, you're going to encounter, the challenge you're going to encounter is the fact that if you don't know the basics of like, we're in a space whereby you are paid in dollar valuation, but not necessarily dollar itself, but in stable coins, right?
Yeah.
You're also going to be rejected because you're Nigerian. You're going to be paid lesser. Sometimes you're going to be paid lesser because you're Nigerian or an African. Is the cold hard truth. It has happened to some person. It has not necessarily happened to me per se, but it has happened to some persons that came to me like, ma. Immediately this person said, I said I'm a Nigerian. He changed his price from, maybe the person wanted to pay $500, the person changed it to $150. So the person had Nigeria.
Yeah.
Or the person went from warm to cold just because the person had Nigeria. Then the Nigerian factor sets in. So are you going to now stop? I've had more, like if I have 100 persons who have brought in their test, who have gone for these Web3 jobs, 90% of them have actually come back with testimonials. So if it's working for majority, that means that one person that rejected you because you're Nigerian doesn't count. So we move on, move ahead, just get over it already. And the person not accept you because you're Nigerian. So okay, fine, bye, sir. On to the next person, on to the next opportunity. So that Nigerian factor is going to set in. At some point, you might encounter it, you might not encounter it, but sometimes it's there. The African factor is there. So that's why it's up to you to don't allow rejections get to you. Don't allow imposter syndrome gets to you. Don't even allow multiply your possibilities. Like that's why I created. There's a program I have right now. I want to relaunch 45 days job challenge. It's a 20 plus methods of getting a job. If you already have a skill, 20 different strategies you can apply in order to get a Web3 job. So it's been running. In fact, someone signed up yesterday for it. And these are strategies that I've tried, I've done, people around me have tried, people in the community have tried. So it's not like just something, because I don't believe, I don't believe in just going to a website to go and apply. I feel, this is my personal belief, maybe it's different for someone else. Maybe for some people, I've heard people say they apply 300 times on a website. Why do you have to apply 300 times on a website when that 300 efforts would have even gotten you opportunities if you have avoided? I'm not saying job websites are bad. I'm just saying that you have a higher chance of getting some job outside job websites. Before a job, check it now. My first job was given to me by recommendation. Hey, I have a friend. She can write on my social media. Oh yeah, give her a job. I didn't even have to cross the job website, right? Then the other one, oh hi, I just saw your LinkedIn post and can you write content for us? The person just saw my LinkedIn post and that was it. Oh, the other person was, hi, I was in a Discord community one day. I feel like, oh, somebody is looking for a content writer. Contact this person in their Discord DM. And that was how I got that one too. So these are they were all outside job websites. So if you're so save yourself that frustration of sitting down on a job website and applying every single day, there's no glory in saying I've applied 1,000 times and I've not gotten one. There's no glory in that. That 1,000 efforts would have been channeled to all those those unpopular ways of actually getting jobs. Yes. And these are those things that we shy away from, because it's actually easier for you to go to a website and type in, oh, we are looking for this person. You now attach your CV, and then you just simply go through the system. But use an ATS and screen out your resume and pick one or two persons, right? But if you try out like that 20 plus strategies I'm sharing with my community, there's no way you can go through those 20 plus strategies and you will find one to stay with and gives you results. There's no way. And the funny thing is that none of them has to do with going to a website to go and apply.
Okay.
So these are some of the challenges you're going to face. Rejection, Nigerian factor will happen to you. Wanting it easy, or wanting your comfort zone. It's not just comfort. Have a a learning spirit, right? Have a learning spirit. Always pursue applicable knowledge. There's another kind of people I've seen in this space. They know a lot, but they've never applied one strategy. They learn a lot, but they've never applied. So one advice I always give my community is what you know, the knowledge you have is the one you've applied and gotten results for. So when you learn all these plenty things, the only way you can know that it works is when you apply it and see, oh, this is what worked for me. So for your skill set, don't just be a certificate holder because you went through a bunch of courses. Apply those things you learned and know what works. Because at the end of the day, what's going to give you the key to the doors you're looking for? It's you being able to say, I was able to do A and B, and it gave me Z. So the result you have is your key to. So make sure you always apply your knowledge, and then make sure you note your results. There's something that I started doing recently, work journal. No matter how tiny the progress is, note that progress. That progress is what's going to open the door for you. You know, when you introduce yourself, oh, my name is this, and I've been able to do this, do this, do that. That is your results. Always, no matter what it is, if somebody compliments you about anything, take a screenshot and keep it. Take a screenshot. Someone say, wow, you can do this. Take a screenshot. It tells you what you can do, and it opens door to other opportunities for you because it tells other people too, you can do this. So this is my advice to anybody who wants to get into the web business. Yes.
All right.